6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister says foreign investment is increasing in the country due to government's investment-friendly policies. The National Assembly was taken into confidence today regarding the government's response against the resolution passed by US House of Representatives on Pakistan. China has appreciated the establishment of Special Protection Unit in Islamabad to protect foreigners. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States says Islamabad is taking all steps to curb religious intolerance in the country. The Azad Jammu and Kashmir president has urged the international community to take practical steps to hold India accountable for its human rights violations in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The second semi-final of the ICC T20 World Cup 2024 will be played between England and India in Guyana today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has directed the authorities concerned to formulate a comprehensive framework to strengthen economic partnership with Azerbaijan in investment and trade sectors. Chairing a meeting in Islamabad today regarding the promotion of economic and trade relations with the Central Asian republics, especially Azerbaijan, he said there is an enormous potential of trade and investment between Pakistan and Azerbaijan. Highlighting the unique strategic location of Pakistan, he said Pakistan offers a natural economic corridor through seas for the Central Asian states. The Prime Minister said Pakistan and Azerbaijan have long-standing fraternal ties spanning decades. He further said foreign investment is increasing in the country due to the business and investment-friendly policies of the government. The meeting was briefed that negotiations are underway to have preferential trade agreement with Azerbaijan, as there is a huge potential of energy cooperation with the country. The Prime Minister was also briefed about the steps taken to increase business and trade volume and investment opportunities between the two countries. The National Assembly was informed today that the government has taken notice of the resolution passed by the US House of Representatives on Pakistan. Winding up the discussion on cut motions in the National Assembly, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister Mohammad Asaghdar said the government will also pass a resolution in response to United States resolution, and the draft resolution will be shared with the opposition and Treasury benches. He asked the Treasury and the opposition benches to must show sovereignty and unity. The Foreign Minister rejected the impression that Pakistan faces isolation at the international level. The American House of Representatives on Wednesday passed a bipartisan resolution in support of democracy and human rights in Pakistan's general elections and called for a thorough and independent investigation into the claims of interference or irregularities in the general elections. China has appreciated the establishment of Special Protection Unit in Islamabad to protect foreigners, particularly the Chinese nationals. The appreciation came during a meeting between the Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi and his Chinese counterpart, Xi Yanchen, in New York. During the meeting, the training of law enforcement agencies and use of modern equipment and technology came under discussion. The Chinese Interior Minister also expressed satisfaction over the progress achieved in the probe of Dasu incident. He also lauded the professionalism and expertise of the Pakistan law enforcement agencies to investigate the incident. The Chinese Interior Minister invited Mohsin Naqvi to participate in the Global Security Forum scheduled to be held in China in September, which he accepted. The Minister for Planning and Development, Ahsan Iqbal, has emphasized on sustainable research to increase in agriculture produce. He was talking to the Chairman Pakistan Agricultural Research Council, Ghulam Muhammad Ali, who called on him in Islamabad today. During the meeting, adoption of technology and innovation to increase agricultural produce came under discussion. The minister said monitoring transparency and research by ensuring the involvement of the private sector is also the need of the hour. Hassan Iqbal directed to organize agricultural production competitions at the district level to encourage farmers. Speaking on the occasion, the chairman, Pakistan Agricultural Research Council, informed the minister that agricultural potential of the country is low and farmers cannot purchase all kinds of seeds due to inflation. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Sardar Masood Khan, says Islamabad is taking all steps to curb religious intolerance in the country. He was addressing a roundtable conference on promoting peace and understanding among different religious communities in Washington. Masood Khan called the killing of minorities a crime against humanity. He urged the participants to focus on commonalities, tearing down the barriers that divide the people. Speaking on the occasion, former American ambassador to Pakistan, Ann Patterson, said interfaith dialogue can curb violent extremism. Faith leaders from different religions, diplomats, representatives from the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, the United States Institute of Peace, think tanks participated in the event. This is Radio Pakistan. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Modi-led Indian regime continues to confiscate properties of Kashmiri people to suppress them. According to Kashmir Media Service, 5 more Kashmiris have been stripped of their 9 canals of land worth millions of rupees in Baramulla district. In a statement issued in Srinagar, the APHC spokesman, Advocate Abdur Rashid Minhas, said property attachment is a new tool adopted by the Modi regime to suppress the legitimate struggle of the Kashmiri people. Meanwhile, a Kashmiri delegation has staged protests outside the United Nations office in Geneva to condemn India's human rights violation in the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The protesters urged the United Nations to secure the release of ailing Hurriyat leader Farooq Ahmad Dar and investigate torture cases across the occupied territory. The Azad Jammu and Kashmir President Barrister Sultan Mahmood Chaudhry has urged the international community to take practical steps to hold India accountable for its gross and widespread human rights violations in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Talking to a private news channel, he called for unity among all Muslim countries to end the plight of the oppressed people of Indian-occupied Kashmir. The AJK president said unabated Indian aggression has even destroyed the economy and culture of the occupied territory. He said Pakistan is continuing its political, diplomatic and moral support to the Kashmir cause, and Kashmiri people have great respect for the Pakistani nation. Pakistan has strongly criticized the United Nations report titled Children and Armed Conflict for ignoring the plight of the Kashmiri children under foreign occupation. Speaking during the United Nations Security Council open debate on the report today, Pakistan's ambassador Munir Akram criticized the report for its persistent and glaring failure and selective omission of the plight of the children in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine. He highlighted despite the killing of 14,000 children in the Gaza war, it took significant pressure for Israel to be included in the report, while the plight of the children in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir was unjustly omitted. The United States, South Korea and Japan started their first trilateral multi-domain exercise at the South Korean island Jeju today. The exercise is focused on ballistic missile defense, air defense, anti-submarine warfare, search and rescue, maritime interdiction, and defense cyber training. And now cricket. The second semi-final of the ICC T20 World Cup 2024 will be played between England and India at Providence Stadium in Guyana today. The match will start at 7:30 this evening. Earlier, South Africa qualified for the final of the mega event, beating Afghanistan by 9 wickets at Tarouba today. The final of the event will be played on Saturday. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and humid weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind and thunderstorm is likely at isolated places in Kashmir, Northeast Punjab, Pothohar region, Islamabad, Gilgit-Baltistan and Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Rain, wind, and thunderstorm is also expected at isolated places in southeastern Lower Sindh and northeast and south Balochistan. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.